Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about the solo and cooperative mode in ERUNE. Little disclaimer before we start, because the game and the app are in production, in this video you will see the prototype that you all know from the other videos. So, before launching a quest in ERUNE, you have to complete your character sheet. It's really easy. For this quest, I'm going to play with the archer and the warrior. I'm going to take my adventurer's card and complete my character sheet with it. First, I'm going to add the HP, mana and stamina max. These are the values that the adventurer cannot exceed during the game. Then the armor and weapon rank, which define the maximum rank that you can equip. Regarding the equipment, for this quest the archer has the short bow with an attack roll of 3 black combat dice. He also had the traveler's outfit, which add 1 black combat dice to his defense roll. And if I read the archer abilities, I can see that he can choose 2 teleromancy spells that he masters for this quest. Before launching the quest, you will have to select the adventurers that are going to play and their level. This will change the application behavior. Now that everything is done, I can launch the quest. In solo and cooperative mode, you will not have a quest book, everything will be displayed on the application. For this video, we've created a little quest, so I'm going to launch it. Launch the quest, Subterranean Magic.
You're on your way to a dungeon on the edge of the Western Lands. You've heard that a strange glow emanates from it at night. As you enter the dungeon, a goblin greets you. Right now, your objective is to investigate. If they can, monsters attack the hero with the fewest health points.
So now I have set up the first dungeon room, like the image displayed on the application. Once everything is set up, I can start to play. In solo cooperative mode, everything stays the same for the turn, so now it's the Dark Master phase. In this mode, the adventurer has to move, make the defense and attack roll for the monsters. The archer has the least HP, so the goblin is going to attack him. He has an attack roll of 2 combat dice. Here it doesn't do any damage, so the archer does not have to defend himself. Now it's the adventurer's phase. The archer is going to cast his spell Fulgurating Stalagmite in order to do 1 red combat dice of damage to the goblin. The goblin takes 2 skull of damage. He is dead because he only has 1 HP and 1 combat dice on his defense roll, and he doesn't have to do his defense roll because monsters cannot generate stamina points in solo and cooperative mode. Now I'm going to move the warrior. She has 1d6 plus 4 square of movement. Here I obtain 5, so she can move 9 squares. First I'm going to move toward the cabinet because I see that there is an ERUNE token on it. I can see on the image displayed on the application that I can say I examine the cabinet in order to trigger an ERUNE event. So that's why I'm going to say I examine the cabinet.
Who examined the cupboard?
The warrior.
Just before opening the cabinet you notice a mechanism. You barely avoid the arrows coming out of the cabinet. If an hero is behind you, he takes 1 damage. Now you can search the cabinet.
Okay, so nobody is behind me, so nobody take damage, and I'm going to search the cabinet. I search the cabinet.
You search the wardrobe carefully. You find 5 gold coin, a potion of speed and a lilhaudo.
I write everything I find on my character sheet. I'm finishing the warrior's movement in order to go near the door. Here it's a prototype, so you don't see the image anymore, but in the final version you will see it all the time. On the image I can see that near the door I can say I open door 1.
You enter a small room occupied by 2 goblins and a rat guarding a chest.
The image displayed on the application allowed me to set up the second room of the dungeon, so here it is. In order to keep the video relatively short, I'm going to skip the room 2 and go directly to room 3. In order to open the door, I'm going to do exactly the same thing as the door 1. I'm going to say, I open the door 2.
You see a magic site in the next room and monsters next to it. From now on, hero, your objective is to destroy the magic site.
So now I'm going to set up the third room of the dungeon and skip the turn. New turn.
Okay, the round 3 begins. You feel a cold draft that makes you shiver. And that's it. If they can, monsters attack the hero with the least stamina points and use the skill group attack this turn.
So now is the Dark Master phase, so I'm going to move every monster toward the warrior that is the nearest hero. And as the Spirit of ERUNE said, I'm going to use the group attack skill on all the monsters. They're going to add their attack roll and the warrior will only have 1 defense roll. Each goblin attack with 2 black combat dice and the orc attack with 1 red combat dice. So the warrior has to defend 4 skulls. Her defense roll is 3 black combat dice because she has a shield and a traveler's outfit. So she takes 3 damage and she is now at 5 HP. Now it's the adventurer's phase. The warrior is going to attack the goblin. She uses the skill strength by spending 1 stamina point that she earned during the last turn that had a 1 skull to her attack roll. Her attack roll is 3 black combat dice because she has a short sword. She kills the goblin and on 1 stamina point, so she's going to use the skill chained attack in order to do another attack on the orc. The warrior inflicts 2 skull of damage to the orc, and I'm going to use her ability Brawler in order to change 1 DC of her attack roll. I'm transforming the lightning into a skull, so the orc takes 3 damage. The orc has a defense roll of 2 black combat dice plus 1 shield. The orc only have 1 HP, so you have to do a perfect roll in order to survive. He only has done 1 shield, so he's dead. Now I'm going to move the archer toward the magic site. Since the archer has the ability to move diagonally, I can move wherever I want. The archer has a short bow, so he has an attack roll of 3 black combat dice. He's going to attack the magic site, which has only 1 HP and cannot defend himself. He has done 1 skull, so the magic site is destroyed. On the image we can see that when the magic site is destroyed, we have to tell ERUNE, so that's what I'm going to do. The magic site is destroyed.
The walls are shaking and starting to crumble. Heroes, come out quickly, your turns are counted.
Okay, so now we know that our new objective is to get out of the dungeon alive and as quickly as possible. Now that everyone has played, I'm going to start a new turn.
Okay, the round 4 begins. Look out, this turn all monsters replace their combat dices with yellow combat dices. If they can, monsters attack the nearest hero.
Okay, so now is the monster phase and the goblin is going to attack the nearest hero with 2 yellow combat dice. He inflicts 2 skull of damage to the warrior and she has to defend herself. She made 2 shields, so she blocked every damage. Now it's the adventurer's phase, so I'm going to run as fast as I can to go out of the dungeon. The archer didn't go far enough to leave the dungeon. Now let's see for the warrior. She managed to leave the dungeon. Now we have to start a new turn.
Okay, the round 5 begins. Rocks fall from the ceiling, the heroes take 1 damage. If they can, monsters attack the hero with the least stamina points and use the skill group attack this turn.
Okay, so each adventurer take 1 damage, so the warrior only have 4 HP left, and the archer only have 2. Now the goblin is going to move and he doesn't have enough movement speed to do a melee attack, so he's going to use his ability to switch for a bow and attack the archer. With his bow, he also have 2 black combat dice. He inflicts 1 skull of damage to the archer that has to defend himself with 2 black combat dice according to this character sheet. The archer didn't manage to make a shield, so he takes 1 HP, he only have 1 HP left. Since the archer only have 1 square to move, I don't need to throw the dice, and both of the adventurers get out of the dungeon. So now I'm going to say to the spirit, the heroes get out of the dungeon.
Heroes, you come out of the dungeon after destroying the source of that magic glow. You exit in 5 turns, you get 25 experience points. If you have killed the orc, each hero gets 5 experience points.
So now that the quest is finished, I only have to write the experience I gained at the end of the quest on my character sheet and the amount of XP I gained during this quest. That's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our social network in order to follow the advancement of ERUNE. Have a good day.